Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Happy to be back with you. Brian Nadeau here. Closing weekend at Gulfstream Park. Sunshine Meet ends tomorrow. You can see a little bit overcast here in Hollandale Beach. We've got 9 of them for you on tap today. And the cool thing about that picture was that turf course front and center looking lush and green. And of course, we'll kick off turf racing and the championship meet next Friday. A lot to look forward to, but of course it's closing weekend here. Just an abbreviated 2-day race week, but there is a lot to look forward to as well. We've got 9 today. The Rainbow Six kicks off in race number 4. That's a $75,000 gross jackpot guarantee. We're not going to pay that out tomorrow. That instead will be paid out next weekend on closing weekend here tomorrow. We've got 11 races, but the Rainbow, it's growing quickly. $75,000 will be a large pool here today. Solid racing as well. We'll get to it in the lightning round, but there's a lot going on here closing weekend. What a trainers battle. We have Victor Barboza Jr. and Safi Joseph Jr. tied at 31. Jose Giangelo waiting in the wings with 29, and they've got the cupboards loaded for Bear this weekend. Everybody's sending out live runners, so take note of that. We'll kick things off here, though, in the 12:10 opener. Early pick 5 as well, and I've got a ticket. Samantha's off this weekend, but she's got tickets as well for her pick 4 and late pick 5. Just $6. I feel like this is a very, very punchable multiple times kind of ticket. Just $6 for me. A couple of them in the opener. 2 in race 2 with the top pick is the 7 East Side Cool. In race number 3, we'll go 3 deep in there with the 4 Sickle Dance on top for Kelsey Danner. And in race number 4, back-to-back singles. 16 Cigarettes is my best bet of the day. And in race number 5, the 3 Tapping Your Beer is going to be a very short number for Victor in that spot, especially with a key scratch of the 5 No More Debt. Just a $6 ticket. Like I said, you could probably punch this 2 or 3 or as many times as you want. I got to be honest with you, if you really want to tighten it down, you could probably do worse than singling AJ's Memory in the opener here. And let's get to it now. We're going 6 furlongs on a fast main track. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, 12-5 maiden claimers. We scratch out the 6 Sharp Pippa. And I think that's important because Jose D'Angelo, again, 2 behind in the trainer standings. He had Sharp Pippa and he had AJ's Memory. What does Jose do? He's going to leave the 1 AJ's Memory in there. I made her 6-5 on the morning line to me, and she's sitting up there at 4-5. Very early in the betting, but she's a real problem for this field because I think you look at her dirt races, and she ran off the claim for the first time on the main track in her last start for Jose, and it was just a really good effort. She was second, beaten just a length, well clear of third, and I feel like if she runs back to that race, she'll win. She's also, to me, on the main track, the most consistent horse in here, and there's not a lot of other ways you can go in this spot. I will talk about the 5 Cheru. We're going to go for now, Liz Doble's, the barn a little slow into stride at the Sunshine Meet. I want to show you Cheru's last start, and that was on the drop, the maiden special weight drop. She's the 6 here with John's Imaginary Silks, and this is the old There Off You Lose. In between horses right now, and right about here, well, there we go. Way back and just basically loses about 6 lengths there. Did a little running. She was beaten 10 lengths in 4th, so she didn't totally quit that day. I don't know what to make of her. She was 5-2 in that spot. Liz claimed her for a quarter. They ran her in a maiden special weight at Monmouth. She didn't do any running at all. Then she dips down to 12-5. You saw what happened there. I think with an alert beginning today and a trouble-free trip, she's the main danger. But I got to be quite honest with you, I don't know what's left in the tank. She does not look like the same horse that was running solid speed figures, running good races that were put her in the mix here. And I don't know what we're going to get today. And unfortunately, she's probably the only other horse you can look at, and that means you're going to take an underlaid price as well. So I put her in second. You saw the replay there. Hopefully for her and the connection, she can break running in here. But again, I still think she's a sizable way down from the 1 AJ's Memory. Toodaloo Y'all for Kathleen O'Connell. Second off the long layoff. Maybe you get a little better today, but she didn't do a lot of running last time, beating 15 lengths in her comeback, added Lasix too. So again, I think the gap from the 1 AJ's Memory to everybody else is a pretty seismic one. And just maybe after the opener here, Jose D'Angelo will be 1 behind in the trainer's race. Race number 2 kicks off the early pick 4. It's a starter starter optional claimer. 3-year-olds and up will go a flat 1-turn mile on a fast main track. We scratched the 2, Black Belt. We'll see him tomorrow. We scratched the 3, Diamond Cool. It leads us with a field of 6. Certainly a huge favorite with Mish, the 5 horse. We'll see what Samantha did in the early pick 4. $12 ticket. So she's going to single Mish, and I get it. I mean, he's the house horse. He loves it here. He loves these kind of starter optional claimers. She's going to spread in race number 3, and I understand that. It makes sense to me. In race number 4, she's got the 5 and the 8. I've got the 5-16 cigarettes on top, and in race number 5, she's got the 3, 7, and 8, and those are the ones I have as well. That's a $12 early pick 4 ticket. And we'll take a look at this race now. And certainly Mish, 7-5 on the morning line, lower than that with the scratch of Black Belt. And, you know, I mentioned he's the house horse. He's 7 for 14 at Gulfstream Park. This gives Safi a legitimate chance to up his win total and take the lead. But I went with the 7, Eastside Cool here for Sandino Hernandez. I liked this race last time, coming back from Del Mar where he was going 2 turns. Sandino brings him back here. Steel Sunshine is so good for Bobby DeBona. He was a huge favorite that day. It was an extremely fast race for the level. Eastside Cool will be a better price than Mish. He's drawn outside of Mish. In speed figure wise, that race last time, it gives him a legitimate chance to pull a mild surprise in here. And that's the way I played it. I'm just, you know, if you want to be, again, tight in your early pick 5 and early pick 4, I get it. Mish is very likely odds on here, especially with the scratch of Black Belt. But if you can get an Eastside Cool to the winner's circle, if things blow up a little bit, because anybody on a budget is going to single Mish, you can't take anything away from him. He's legitimately even money or odds on in here. He just did it the hard way last time. He dueled all the way around, absolutely whacked his pace rival, who was the inside speed that day was 5th. That was the horse Mish was dueling with. He pulls clear at 1-2. Beat Doc Amster. He's okay on his day. Beat Black Belt. We said he's out. We'll see him tomorrow. Clearly the horse to beat. But I think it's interesting, too. Amicio Jaramillo is going to be aboard Eastside Cool. And obviously he's a very, very aggressive gate rider. Arguably one of the best we have, if not the best here at Gulfstream Park. He also knows how to read a racing form. And he knows darn well that Mish is the horse to beat in here. And I just wonder if he plays it. I'm on the second best horse. I'm going to take it to Mish from the outside in the perfect tactical attack post. And we'll let the dust settle because I don't really have faith in anyone else in here. Maybe we have a little match race entering the far turn, and maybe Eastside Cool being in that aggressive outside spot, he can get brave and take it to Mish. And that's why I put him on top in here. Certainly the 6 Slim Slow Slider. Pete Walder had Black Belt. He's going to opt to run Slim Slow Slider. He's got the 1 Big Daddy Dave as well. They are very, very honest, good race horses on their day. I don't think they can beat Mish on their day, and I don't know if they can beat Eastside Cool as well. So it's just 7-5 to the hoop for me, and I get anybody liking Mish and taking a stand with Mish. I totally agree with that. Let's take a look. I've got a trainer stat, too, I want to talk about with Safi Joseph Jr. in here. Again, Safi trying to win another trainer's title. Look at this now. If you think there's a little dent in Mish's armor, well, check this stat out. 36% from a very large sample as well. Winner last out, Gulfstream Dirt Sprint. So I know they're stretching to a mile, but it's a 1-turn mile today. So I kind of lump them in here a little bit. 36%. I do not expect Mish to regress anybody in here, and that includes the 7, Eastside Cool, is going to have to beat Mish at his game, and they're going to have to do it the hard way. Race number 3, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. It's a maiden special weight here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds in up. A field of 6. You saw Samantha's early pick 4 ticket. She went 4 deep in here. And I think it's that kind of race. Regardless, Sickle Dance is favored on the morning line. I made her 2-1. And I like her in here. Kelsey Danner does such a good job in here. She had this daughter of B Jersey at Kentucky Downs on the turf there. 6.5 furlongs. You get so much foundation up at Kentucky Downs when you run in those turf races, European-style turf races. This horse was 3-1 that day, and the fact that Kelsey took this horse up to Kentucky Downs, I think is a very positive. Ran a good 4th. She finally gets a good post in here as well. She's been marooned in the 11-hole at Colonial, in the 11-hole at Kentucky Downs as well. We are trying to PETA for the first time. But Kelsey does such a good job with everything she does. Good to see her back here in the entry box. She's going to have a competitive winter here during the championship meet. And I think Sickle Dance is in a very, very good spot today. And I think one of the reasons she's in a good spot, I want to show you Beachland's last race. I could have showed you Beachland's first race, but I'm going to concentrate on the last race. Beachland is 4-5 here. She's got a 3-horse duel in front of her, and she's licking her chops. She's probably in running 1-5 right here. Not only does she not win, she loses by 2.5 lengths. Now, Laban, the 1-horse, wins this race. She did come back to win her next start. Beachland pulled the same thing. Look, she's going to win by 5 lengths here, by the way. She's down the road. I don't know if she wants to win a horse race. You can see her idling here. I hate to use the H word. She hung badly there. She hung badly in her first race, too. They're going to bet her again today. They bet her to 9-10 last time. And again, you watch that replay. You watch how that race unfolded. She was 1-5 in there. She was gone off the far turn, and she just basically idled, and she didn't want to win. Now she's going to try Topeka. She's going to try it off a July 9th layoff. Tread very, very lightly with her because I just don't know if she wants to win a horse race. And I feel like that's another reason why Sickle Dance is in a really good spot here today for Kelsey. Applause will get bet for Safi. I get it. She's a homebred by Uncle Mo out of a Pioneer, the Nile mare. She could be okay, but Safi ran her 2 turns on debut on Topeka. I think it's interesting. In a 7-horse field, she was 6-1. That did not sit well with me. And she was last of 7. She was only beaten 7 lengths. The winner, To Thyself Be True. She's okay. She's a stakes place Topeka filly. She's okay. But that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, too. And now she's going to come back. She's going to shorten up. Edgard is here. I think that's very, very important. But she's another horse. She's going to get bet for huge connections here. Edgard's long gone goodbye in the jockey's title here. Another reason why I think Sickle Dance could be in a good spot. I don't really trust Applause in here off a very so-so iffy, middling kind of debut. But I do think those are the 3 in here. Charging Lady for Ralph Nix, a Whisper Hill homebred, coming back. Haven't seen her since February. She was with Todd Pletcher. She was not here during the championship meet. She was up in South Ozone Park at Aqueduct. That's not a great sign either. She wasn't with the A-team. Ralph does such a good job. He's 36% off this kind of layoff. She's slow to me, and we got to get some improvement off her. Maybe Ralph can get it. She's an 0-for-9 maiden with 6 underneath finishes. Not the type I want to use either. So 3 down, 6 to go. When we come back on Gulfstream today, Rainbow 6 with $75,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee.
Gulfstream Park's championship meet brings world-class thoroughbred racing to South Florida each winter, and it's a prime reason to offer the best turf racing possible. Having the best surfaces is the key to offering a superior racing product. We are committed to attracting the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys to run over our exceptional course. Gulfstream Park's new turf course will be unveiled this December.
It's tradition. Every year, the stars gather for a spectacle. Stars of the racing world collide to cement their legacy in their quest for greatness. Bear witness as we raise the stakes and shatter the status quo. Watch as the brightest stars in fashion take the stage, and we forge unforgettable memories. Be part of this storied heritage. Revel in performances from the superstars of entertainment, and the unexpected awaits you at every turn. Join us in this unrivaling celebration, where champions ascend and legends are created. This is the Pegasus World Cup, where stars align.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau with you here on a little bit of an overcast day in Hollandale Beach. The weather looks pretty good, though. It's a beautiful day. Hope everybody had a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. It's closing weekend here. Tomorrow we'll shut down the Sunshine Meet. The championship meet kicks off next Friday, but a lot of heavy lifting still to come here on the two-day race week. And that starts in race 4 with the Rainbow Six up to $75,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. We'll take a look at my ticket now. It's kind of an interesting sequence. You can see it here. I got back-to-back singles to start it, and then we're just going to try to blow up the board in race 6. That is the big spread race. It also has my long shot in there, and that is the 8 Mare Jack in race number 7. Top pick is the 1 Fair Hope Curly. In race number 8, your top pick is the 8, and that is to the outside with Sweet Temptation. Exciting filly for Ralph Nix. Too deep in the finale with the 9 on top. That is Chloe's Toy, $25.20 ticket. And as you can see, I've got a back-to-back Bing Bing Daily Double here in race number 4. And this is my best bet of the day here. We'll sprint 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. 2-year-olds here, $25,000 maiden claimer. We do scratch the 1, Dunes of Gold. Jockey updates the 3, Edwin Gonzalez will ride. In the 10, John Rivera picks up the mount there on Molinaro. And I mentioned my best bet of the day is 16 Cigarettes, a maiden special weight dropper for Carlos David. And I think this is the perfect horse for Paco Lopez to ride. We showed speed against on the Tapeta and on the dirt against maiden special weight company. You know, wasn't terrible, wasn't great. You look at the form, and it just kind of seems like this son of Cantharo should be in for a quarter. Blinkers go on, too. So we get one of the most, if not the most aggressive front-end rider in the colony here in Paco. We get a great finisher as well, and we get blinkers going on. To me, it's a dead set mission with 16 Cigarettes, and I just don't see him getting caught in here. The 8, Old Flag. Let's segue over to the 8. I know I've got him in 4th, but I want to show the trainer stat here. Wesley Ward. Good to see his name back in the entry box here at Gulfstream Park as well. Look at this stat. Now, I will say this. Only one of this stat is at Gulfstream Park. The others are up at Turfway. Some Woodbine sprinkled in there as well. But this is all-weather, first-time starter in the maiden claiming ranks. So I think it plays in here. Obviously, Turfway with the Poly, Woodbine with the Tapeta. Monster stat here for Wesley. 48% with a 296 ROI. So you don't have to worry, to me, about Old Flag being, maybe they bought this horse for a lot of money. He's no good here. Take him off my hands. He's probably in here to run, and he's probably in here to run well. And I think with Amicio aboard, you're going to get speed from him, as all Wesley runners break running. But I just think 16 Cigarettes is the horse to beat in here in a really, really good spot. Vinsanity, another special weight dropper as well. That's the horse Edwin Gonzalez gets aboard. The worry here, there's no speed at all from Vinsanity, and the blinkers come off. So that's a little worry. Edwin's going to have to kind of thread the needle a little bit, keep this horse close. I know he chased 2 back, but now with the blinkers off, I don't necessarily think he's going to be that aggressive early on. The 7, Come Dream With Me, makes sense for Ronnie Spatz. Ran well on the Tapeta 2 back. Another horse that drew well. He's been chasing really slow-paced sprints, though, and I think it's a lot different here with 16 Cigarettes on a send mission. Jose D'Angelo, again, trying to get that trainer's title, and he wants it. He had 2 of them in here. He's going to scratch the 1, Dunes of Gold. He is going to run the 4 Tour Guide. I don't know what to make of him. They paid $18 for him. He's a first-time starter debuting for a quarter. Check the tote board here and see if he's taking money in that spot. Late pick 5 kicks off in race number 5. We'll go flat 1 turn mile here. 3-year-olds and up and have never won 2 at the bottom for the 62.50. Samantha's got that ticket. We'll take a look at it now. And it's an $18 play. She's going to use 3 of them here. That's a little surprising to me, so we'll get into it. She's going to use 3 of them here. 3 in race 6 as well. Not my long shot, though, and that is the 8 Mare Jack in race 2x2 interior double, and then to get out of the sequence, she's got a single, and that's Princess Blakely. That's her best bet of the day, and I had to send her a text on that. Very interesting best bet. If you follow me, you know I played her quite a bit, Princess Blakely. Not for me today. $18 ticket. Let's get into this race. A significant scratch of the 5, No More Debt, who actually beat the 3, Tap in Your Beer, last time. That is a big scratch. I always had the 3, Tap in Your Beer, singled. I want to show you a trainer stat for Victor Barboza Jr. here. And this is a huge, huge stat. First off the trainer switch, Gulfstream Dirt, the past 2 years, 5 for 10 with a gaudy 316 ROI. Victor takes over from Ray Yanez, who does a very, very good job. 1 for 21, 8 underneath finishes with Tapping Your Beer. But I just kind of feel like this horse is going to fly today. And Victor gets these horses. You saw the stat there. And they just improve, and they improve in leaps and bounds. And I think we talked about this last weekend. You could see it this weekend, too. You know, Victor wants to win this title. He's on the precipice. I feel like he's running horses in spots, not giving them away, but just maybe running them maybe just a condition or two below their price tag. Tapping Your Beer looks to be one of those horses today that is going to be very, very tough to beat. I made this horse 8-5 on the morning line. Be a lot lower than that with the scratch of No More Debt. Capture the Laughter makes sense. He's the other Victor Barboza Jr. horse. He's not first time in the barn. He's second time. He's going to run for the first time on the main track under Victor's care. So you could see him moving forward in a big way as well. Victor's got a huge 1-5 kind of chance on the uncoupled entry to add to his stats here. Race number 6, we'll kick off the late pick 4. We go 1.70 miles on the Tapeta, $35,000 maiden claimers. These are for the 2-year-olds. Guys, we don't need to show the ticket. It's just essentially a run back. I'll post it on Twitter as well. We scratched the 1 Yasur in here, and basically that's about the only horse I didn't use in this spot. My long shot is in here, Mare Jack, and this is on for Melanie Giddings. Does a really good job up in New York. I think this horse is interesting, okay? Has run once on the turf in a maiden special weight at Belmont. Very, very key race. The winner that day was good. The second, third place horse, they both come back to win. This horse broke from the rail, had a troubled trip that day from the start and during the race as well. And now, what do we get today? We're better drawn today towards the outside. We're a first-time gelding. I think that is very significant as well. In the maiden special weight drop plays too. I get that this horse is probably looking up at the majority of the field. You look at this group, though. There's not a lot in here. There's not a lot to trust. Take a stab with Mare Jack. Showed speed against Special Weight Company, against much, much better at Belmont. Chased and tired at Saratoga. We'll see what we get today. Stretching out on the Tapeta. Classic Empire on top. A Derby winner in Fusaichi Pegasus on the bottom of this pedigree. Battle of Dover. First time for Jack Sisterson. Jack does 26%. First time into his barn. Legged up at Keeneland. 80-1 at Keeneland in a maiden special weight on the turf for Eddie Vaughn. Now we're with Jack. We're on a big drop. We'll see what we get today. Better drawn as well. Victor's got the 3 Grand Tower. And he makes sense. I made him favorite on the morning line. They're going to bet him. He was 3 lengths clear in deep stretch last time, and he couldn't see it out. That does not happen to Victor's horses. When they get clear, they don't get run down. He was 6-5. He was in for 16 last time. Now he's in for 35. This is a sizable step up in class to me. They're going to bet him again. He figures. He wouldn't surprise me at all if he wins. I just feel like he's the type of horse maybe you play against a little bit. This is the biggest spread race on the card for me. I went 7 deep in my Rainbow and my late pick 4. Late pick 3 time in race number 7. We're going to go 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's a good one, too. It's an optional claimer here for the 2-year-old fillies. We scratch out the 3 Devil at Midnight. Jose D'Angelo's got a very heavy hand here with Bubbly Champagne. But I took the 1. Fair Hope Curly. Bill Morey, very high percentage trainer in Kentucky in the Midwest. It's exciting to see him run one down here. This is a daughter of Buchero. She's going to try Tapeta for the first time. If you hear Samantha and I talk about these Bucheros, they love the Tapeta, and she has got a lot of speed as well. And who's aboard here? And I think, again, I've said it all day long, I think it's very significant that Billy reaches out for Amicio Jaramillo. This horse chased 44-1 in the Indian Summer, a 5.5 furlong turf sprint at Keeneland. Tired late, made the lead, and tired very late. We are on a send mission. We know how the Tapeta can play at 5.5, 5.5 to speed. This horse, to me, is a legitimate threat to go down the road. Bubbly Champagne, I mentioned, 7-5 on the morning line. I want to show you her race 2 back. This is the maiden special weight win. She routed last time in a stakes, and she ran very, very well. This is just a tour de force here. Now, She kind of sort of had to win with the way the race unfolded, but she's going to eventually end up drawing off by 6.5 lengths. You can see Edwin Gonzalez just kind of sitting there in the catbird seat, and he's just along for the ride. Edgar Zayas is going to ride today. She is clearly the horse to beat. She couldn't see out the route last time, so Jose sprints her today. She's a huge, huge danger and the most likely winner. I just wonder, though, she does have the tactical speed. Maybe, though, the one Fairhope Curl, he can string her out a little bit, and maybe we'll take a deep breath and she forgets to stop. Madness is the second-time starter for Joe Orsino. She won on debut for DJ Stable. She did it in slow time, but she did it impressively. If the 1 and the 2 hook up early and often, maybe Madness can run them down, and she'll be a square price as well. Pretty compelling race number 7. Late double kicks off in race number 8. It's the feature, and it should be because it's a really good optional claimer for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We've got a field of 9 in here. You could go several different ways. The 8 is Sweet Temptation, though, and I'm going to show you why I put her on top. She is facing winners for the first time. Check out this W here. It's a Whisper Hill homebred for Ralph Nix. This is her second lifetime start, and she absolutely demolishes this field. She's going to win off by 5.5 lengths. The horse she beat, who runs second in here, and that is a 3, Atlanta Alexandra. She came back and absolutely dominated in her next start in the maiden special weight ranks. So I think Sweet Temptation comes out of a good race and a good effort. And yes, she faces winners today. Yes, there's some accomplished horses in this field. That right there was an absolute jog, a tour de force. And I think today, onward and upward for her. I feel like Ralph Nix has got a really nice filly on her hands. They've been patient with her. She's a 4-year-old daughter of Overanalyzed. She did not debut until August of her 4-year-old season. But to me, it looks like the patience has paid off. Ralph and his team does such a good job. Anatomy for Jose D'Angelo. She's going to take the blinkers off. She's going to get back to the main track. She was okay on the Tapeta. She ran 3rd last time. She ran 2nd, 2 back. She's got very, very good main track form. And she's got an over 4-length win on the main track at 6 furlongs. It wasn't against Statebreds, but Jose's got her in very, very good form, and she's going to sit the same kind of stalking trip that Sweet Temptation is as well. How about down on the inside? Our old friend Lynx. We haven't seen her in quite some time. She hasn't been out since March. Okay, so now she's going to come back. I know she's been doing the Statebred thing, and I get all that, but she's a multiple Statebred stakes winner, sprinting 1 turn on the Gulfstream Park main track. She's back today off the long layoff for Juan Alvarado and Arundel. Paco gets aboard, and you know what you're going to get today? You might get a bigger, stronger, meaner, tougher version of Lynx, and she was pretty darn good as a 2-year-old and 3-year-old filly. She ran in some open company stakes races during the championship meet. She's back with a group she might be able to play with today. She probably needs some hitting up front. Maybe she gets it. I put her in 3rd. I think it's exciting to see her back today, and I think this could be the kind of precursor for what could be a pretty good winter for her, maybe in the Statebred ranks. Let's take a wait-and-see approach on her today, but it's cool to see her back. Rohan Crichton's got Dema Wonder. She was pretty good winning off a long layoff last time. Maybe she's a little better second off. Very, very deep and competitive feature today in race number 8. We'll wrap it up in the finale. Race number 9, we'll sprint 5 on the Tapeta. Here, these are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. The tag is 35. We've got a clean slate, a field of 9. A little bit of the gang's all here. Sadie Bear, Princess Blakely, and Chloe's Toy. They tangled on September 1st, and I want to show you that race. Princess Blakely was beaten ahead. Again, that's Samantha's best bet. She is the 3. Chloe's Toy doing some dirty work. Sadie Bear pressing her to the outside. Poor old Sadie Bear. Every single time she runs, she wins the battle and loses the war. Here's Princess Blakely coming up the fence, and that's hard to do. I felt like she got all the best of it. She still, oh boy, she still couldn't win. I have tried Princess Blakely for CJ Thoroughbred so many times. I'm against her today. It's Samantha's best bet. I put Chloe's Toy on top. I know she didn't do a lot of running last time. That was such a good group. My Lady James and Face the Music, they both come back to win. I think she's in a good spot. I think she's well drawn. And poor old Sadie Bear, she scratched out a couple weeks ago. She's going to run today. She runs so hard, and she just always seems to find one or two better because she sets it up for one or two better, and I kind of think that might happen again today. I'm going to fade Princess Blakely a little bit. Maybe she'll beat me. I can never pick right with her. 9 of them for you today. Before I leave you, though, and send it upstairs to Gabe Pruitt with us today, we'll take a look at the lightning round here. It's an exciting one as well because, as I mentioned, we're going to decide the trainers and the jockeys standings here. The trainers' standings have long ago, or the jockeys, excuse me, have long ago been decided. Edgard Zayas was healthy, and he was here all meet, and that's what happens when Edgard is healthy and here. Domination, and congrats to Miguel and Lionel for having such good meets as well, but it's good to see Edgard Zayas. This sets him up for a really good championship meet as well. I know the big guns are coming in, but Edgard Zayas, and for that matter, everybody on this jockeys list, they hold their own against everybody here during the championship meet. But the trainers' standings are going to be really fun to watch over the next 2 days. So Safi and Victor at 31. Jose at 29. Victor 2 today, 5 tomorrow. Safi 4 today, 6 tomorrow. Jose 5 today, 5 tomorrow. And that's pre-scratches, by the way. So these guys are ready to roll, and they want it. I saw some quotes from Jose, certainly Victor as well. You dethroned Safi Joseph Jr. down here at Gulfstream Park. You did a pretty darn good job. So best of luck to all those guys as well. Carlos, David, Joe Orsino, good meets as well. Best bet for me today is 16 candles, and that is in... well, we'll go to the giveaway. Excuse me, I jumped the gun. Thank you, guys. Calendar giveaway next Friday and Saturday, opening weekend of the championship meet while supplies last. Take note of that. So much excitement here. Turf racing back as well. Now we'll get to my best bet today, and that is, as I mentioned, 16 cigarettes. Candles sounds better, but... I don't want 16 cigarettes, but we hope we get the W today. Long shot for me today is in that spread race. That is race number 6, Mare Jack. And, of course, last but certainly not least before I leave you, championship meet is 1 week away from today. Turf racing returns. We'll go to a 4-day racing week in January. Just so much excitement looming here at Gulfstream Park. Can't wait to see it on the green stuff. We're going to take entries today for next Saturday. 7-day draw as well. 9 of them for you today on closing week. Our buddy Gabe, he's upstairs. He's probably hashing out that early pick 5 if I know him as I do. He's going to guide you through the scratches and changes. I'll be back for the opener. Stay tuned.